And we're back, everyone, with part 2 of Valkyria Chronicles on PC. So let's get going. We're finally starting chapter 1 after completing the prologue already. In defense of Bruhl. Home. So like we saw in part 1, this is just a small town, little village, basically untouched by war. Well, kind of untouched by war. Basically started in the prologue.
Seeing that old mill spinning again really makes it feel like home sweet home.
I hear that. It really is one of the most beautiful things about this town.
They're just a bunch of small town kids.
Well, citizens, our enemy can't be far behind. I thank you for your help. Goodbye, and take care.
It just occurred to me that since I'm recording this directly after I finished part 1, I didn't get a chance to turn the sensitivity down on the left or the right stick of the controller.
How's the packing coming along, Ys?
Almost done. I only need to take the everyday basics.
Well, the Empire's got to be close by.
Martha, look! Welks is here!
Actually, I just realized after I pressed A from reading that, I'm going to let all the voices play.
Oh, welcome back, Welkies.
You're still calling me that?
Welkies.
Martha, I'm 22 years old.
I feel Welkin's pain. I'm 30. About to be 31 in a few days, actually, mind you. But I still have members of my family and like parents of friends who still call me by like kid nicknames, so c'est la vie. I feel his pain.
And more important, you shouldn't be running around. Aren't you due any day now?
Ah, a light jog won't hurt the little spud. I should know. I've already had 4 of them.
Hello there. Is Welkin in?
Oh, hello, Alicia.
Brings a
What brings
big
you here?
bag of bread.
I just wanted to apologize. For before. Here. This is...
Really? These are for me?
I work at the bakery. Well, I did until the war started anyway. It's where I live, too. That's preserved bread, so it's pretty hard. Heat it up before you eat it, all right? I baked it myself, so the flavor's guaranteed. Best you ever had.
Quite the glowing recommendation. Here's some hard bread. Best you've ever had.
Thanks. Do you want to come in?
Arrested and shot at? You've had a busy day of it, haven't you, Welkies? And what a lovely lady you are for all that adventuring. Good job, Welkies.
What? Wait, no, it's not like that. Alicia just saved my skin, that's all.
She probably thought that the two of them came back together.
He's right, we just met. I'm not his girlfriend, just his hero.
I'm pretty sure Hero is probably higher than girlfriend.
Although I'm really hoping to be his friend.
Oh, well, I'm sure you will. Be good to my Welkies here, won't you?
Okay, seriously, Martha, enough with the Welkies already.
That's a lovely portrait. Is that General Gunther?
Yep. It was taken before I was born.
General
That's
Gunter on
Dad.
the right-hand side. With his big boss look.
That's Dad? You're a lucky guy. And who's that with him, there?
My father, Tamer. He was an engineer. The General's tank was his creation.
Wait a minute. But I thought the General was your dad.
My birth parents died when I was a baby. The General was kind enough to take me in as his own after that.
Yeah. We're not related by blood, but she's definitely my little sister.
Some pretty touching stuff, really. What do you think about it? The whole brotherhood and bonds forged in war. Not that I know personally, but I'm just saying, you know, you have all that. What would essentially be your extended family being killed in the war, you know, and naturally you're going to take in their child, their baby, help them out.
Sorry, was that question too personal?
That's the way I feel about it.
No, I don't mind at all. I was blessed with 2 wonderful fathers.
Yeah, I guess you were, huh? Oh, is that really the time? I've got to get going.
Why don't you see her off, Welks? I can take care of the rest of this on my own.
All right, I will. I'll be right back.
Good thing it's not a horror movie. You never say, I'll be right back in a horror movie.
See you later, Isara. Safe travels.
Oh, yeah, sometimes you notice there was a transition between scenes, like when they first walked back into town, and then when they were outside the house, and then when they were inside the house. So you can see that it's actually taken multiple ones there. So we had Home Part 2, which is outside the house when Alicia shows up with the hardened bread, and then Family Resemblance, which is when you find out the whole deal with Welkin and his sister. So next up, cutscene in defense of Bruhl, the Windmill Tower.
Wow, look at this. Bruhl's really becoming a ghost town.
They've been leaving for a while. Just about everyone is evacuated by now. You can't blame them. Tensions are rising with the Empire. We'll survive. The Town Watch will guard and protect the home front. Everyone will come back someday. They'll come back when it's safe again, right?
Mm-hmm.
Always good to be optimistic about the future.
So, Welkin, I'm curious. Are you gonna join the army like your father?
I don't think that's for me. What I'd really like to do is be a teacher.
Be a teacher.
Huh. A teacher?
Yeah. Animals and insects, flowers and plants, they've always been my passion. I've learned a lot from nature. You see, my dad, he protected this country as a general, but it's just that I want to give back in my own way. My own way, you know what I mean?
I think I do. You're sure about it?
Welkin wants to be his own man, leave his
That's
own
deep.
mark.
In your own way. What was that?
That sound.
Ominous. See, look here, look at this cutscene. Even at 720p it still looks gorgeous with the whole art style. I also think it's really funny that someone just essentially, given the war thing and the whole East-West thing,
Come on, let's go!
someone just messaged me saying comrade. He's a Russian friend of mine, so it's a joke between us. I just think that's really
I don't
fitting.
believe it. The mill.
Miss Melchiot, the Imperials are attacking. There's a squad of them in town right now.
Get all the Town Watch together, now! We've got to fend them off.
They must be at Mill Plaza. I'll help.
Thanks, Welkin. Now move out! Stay low!
So it's really kicking off now. They're actually full on invading the town. See, he's spamming Russian casual stuff at me. Anyway, moving on. In defense of Bruhl. Defense of Bruhl. So this is another... Actually, before we go anywhere. Oh, you can't change the sensitivity. We'll deal with it. I have the mouse close by just for fine movements. Although, to be honest, I usually only use the mouse for very fine aiming and sniper stuff. But we'll get to that.
I'll explain the mission.
Okay, Alicia. Hit us up with it. The enemy has invaded the Windmill Plaza and has taken almost the entire area over. We'll deploy from this position. Hide behind sandbags for cover as you advance towards the plaza. Our goal this time is to eliminate the enemy leader. I'm pretty sure they'll be there in the plaza area. Be careful, there may be enemy units hiding behind the buildings out there. Hidden enemies won't show up in command mode view, so be careful as you make your advance.
Okay, let's begin. It's up to us to defend Bruhl.
So that's one of the best ways that you can do...
Our target is the Imperials in Mill Plaza. Focus on taking down their captain. Breaking the chain of command should at least buy some time for the townspeople to get away.
All right, I got it. Let's all be careful out there.
So yeah, because we can't... Oh, come on.
Got a second? Listen close and I'll explain.
So, before we go any further, because we can't see the enemies, we don't know where they are by default, because they could be hidden around corners or just out of line of sight. That's where a scout will excel. They have huge mobility. Their view will register stuff on the map. Even if you put them where you can see them and then move them out of view until the enemy turn comes up, they'll still be marked in that position because the enemy hasn't moved and you know they're there. One of the strengths of the scouts. So let's see, about damage. A set amount of the damage a unit has sustained is healed each turn. If a unit has taken heavy damage, don't push them. Stay back and heal up. Should enemy attacks drive a unit's HP to 0, their condition becomes critical. In this battle, you have no way of helping a unit in critical condition. Try to fight carefully so no one's HP reaches 0. So, basically, what's the best way to describe it? When an enemy, or when a unit loses all their health, they enter critical mode. At the moment, that basically means a game over. Shortly into the game, you actually have a way to save people once they hit critical. It is possible to lose characters forever in a permadeath style thing. Think of something akin to Fire Emblem. But there's also ways to save them. We'll get to that anyway. That's for later.
Ready to go.
For the moment, it's time for Welkin to kick some ass. Okay, sightlines. When a unit sights an enemy in action mode, a sightline will appear over his or her head. That line connecting the unit to the enemy, meaning the line points in the direction of the enemy's location. Use it as a guide when attacking or when trying to position your units in a spot where they'll be safe from enemy attacks. So let's go. About attacking enemies. Okay. Pressing the left or right bumpers while in target mode will automatically lock on to the next enemy within firing range. The crosshairs will turn red when a unit aiming at an enemy has a clear line of sight on their target. Use the guideline that extends from the gun when firing near obstacles to see if they are blocking the shot. If that line is interrupted, it means the unit's attack will be blocked. When the crosshairs are on an enemy, the attacking unit's specifications appear at the top of the screen. Versus purse shows the damage against human targets, versus armor shows the damage against tanks and armor. Symbols will indicate the effectiveness against different types of targets. A circle will indicate that the weapon is effective against that type of target. A triangle indicates the weapon can only give slight damage. X means the weapon is ineffective against that type of target. That usually does 0 damage or maybe 1. Area shows whether the attack will damage a broad area, basically an AoE attack, and shots shows the amount of rounds fired per attack. To kill is the number of shots that need to connect in order to defeat the target. In this case, of the 5 rounds fired, 2 must hit to defeat the enemy unit. This number only takes shots that hit the center of the crosshairs into account. Misses or hits in other areas of the target are not taken into account by this number. This provides an estimate you can use when selecting a target and can be used to line up the headshots and critical attacks. So basically, as you can see, I'm aiming at his body, which does less damage. So that would take 7 shots to kill him. Only shoot 5. If I aim at his head, that's critical damage. 2 shots to kill. We're going with that.
Yes!
So, I can't get used to that right stick. It's so sensitive. So, let's go to
My
Alicia.
turn, okay?
This time we're going to use her grenade. Because if we crouch... Wow, that's very awkward. So the grenade can actually take down cover. We're gonna get her out
Enemy
of here,
sighted!
just for the moment.
Enemy unit
Oh
spotted!
my god, that right stick is killing me. I might just have to use left hand on the control, the movement stick, and right hand on the mouse at this point. It's a bit much.
Here we go.
So let's go. We're gonna use Welkin. So let's go aim back of the head. You can actually, if I position around to the right,
Yes!
it's a little bit more advanced. We'll get to it much later. Come on, get into it. There we go. That you can actually position it so that once you kill an enemy and keep shooting, you can hit the enemy behind them. Or misses could potentially hit enemies behind them. But that's more advanced. We'll leave that to later. So you can see, even while enemies are in movement mode as well, Alicia actually used her evasion there. Completely dodged.
Please hit!
So you see the way even while the enemy is moving, my characters are actually shooting back at them. They're trying to intercept them. It's possible to even completely kill characters, or enemies, or NPCs, whatever, before they even start an actual attack, just because they're moving in front. I talk with my hands a lot. So let's go. What do we want now? We will go with...
Here we go.
Welkin.
Enemy sighted.
Okay, so we want... Is this who we want? No, that's not who we want. Let us... Okay, Welkin does not have grenades. Maybe that's why we couldn't do it earlier. So let's go. We'll take this guy down. 2 shots to the head.
Take this.
Good.
Yes.
We want to point him in that general direction. While we move
My
back to
turn,
Alicia.
okay?
So what kind of people would like this game? Well, if you're into strategy games, this is probably a good game for you. If you, in particular, if you like intelligent system games, say Fire Emblem or Advance Wars, this is definitely a game for you. While it's not 100% turn-based just like those games, it is the ones that they're usually most commonly compared to. Now, actually, there, you see how a command point came up off him and broke? He was the scout leader, the squad leader. Because enemies have command points just like you do, you can lower their command by killing their key units.
What's that?
Sounds like a tank.
That's not good. Serious damage to the small battle defense force. Of course, they have the enemy turn because we finished up our... This is bad. It hit Welkin, didn't do too much damage, but that was a mortar. That's an AoE attack that a tank can do. So you can see that the tank is immune to small arms fire. However, there's a nice big glowy blue thing at the back, which we'll get to eventually.
Welkin! Tank!
That's not good. We're not equipped to take out a tank.
I hate to say it, but we should probably pull out for now. Get off this
Yeah,
road
you
and
think?
into the alley to the east. It's too narrow for it.
Trying to fight a tank.
And try to stay behind cover while
pressed
moving.
A.
One blast from that turret and it's over.
So we need to get out of here. We need to make tracks. Now before we get into the next next bit, actually. I want to continue off what I was saying a moment ago. The kind of people that would like this game is generally, if you like strategy games, it's a little bit more basic than some huge, large-scale PC strategy games. But if you like games like Fire Emblem, Advance Wars, things like that, this is definitely a game for you. Those are the ones that it's usually compared to. But personally, there's a game on a PS2 which I think is the closest comparison to this game, because it has the turn-based side. In the case of the other game that I'm about to mention, it actually has a grid-based system similar to, say, Advance Wars or Fire Emblem, but it actually also has the action-based third-person shooter action side of it as well. It's a game called Ring of Red. Accent just kind of rolls off sometimes. It's a great game. I really recommend it if you're into strategy games as well. It's only on the PlayStation 2, but yeah, it's definitely worth a try. And the same with this, if you have a PlayStation 3, a PC, or a PlayStation 4, either keep watching and judge for yourself, or just get it if you like what you see already. So anyway, let's go.
My turn,
Alicia.
okay?
We want to take out. So let's see if I can do this. So I was trying to line it up just so you could possibly get a hit on the guy at the back. It didn't work, but so we have 3 points. Also, because we have our bar at the bottom,
Ready to go.
our action bar. If you control a single unit... Oh, I'm too close to the tank. If you control a single unit more than once per round, the next time they'll start with, say, 80% action point and action movement.
Now. Yes.
So now we're going to move... No, we're not going to move Welkin yet. We're going to move Alicia. If you look at the bottom right, down at the bar down here, you'll see her bar is about 75-80%.
My turn, okay?
So this is going to be her second movement, and automatically she can't move as much. And let's take this guy out. I actually should have used her to run up to the guy in the distance. Either way, it doesn't really matter.
Here we go.
So let's see if we can kill this guy. It's a bit of a long shot based on the distance and the aim, but we'll try. We got him. Nice one. Extra little bit of experience and money always helps. Let's get out of here. This should be enough for Welkin to get to the end. Operation complete. It's just what we needed. We escaped the tank. We killed everything.
Phew. Looks like we shook
Minimal
him.
amount of turns.
What are you doing from here?
If they're rolling in the tanks, there's not much the town watch can do. We'll try to buy time so everyone can get away. I'll dig in my heels at the main gate and do what I can to stall them.
Okay, I'll head back to my house and grab Isara and Martha, then come back.
Be careful out there, Welkin.
B rank. Apparently I was one turn too slow. Either way, we got our enemy leader bonus XP. We got our kills. We got our money. Not gonna complain about it.
Chapter 2. Escape from Bruhl.
But that's it. We're finished with Chapter 1. We're on to Chapter 2, Escape from Bruhl. Before we go any further, we're just going to leave it here and move on as this the end of this part, and we'll move on to Part 3.